What's going on, everybody? The 2021 NFL Draft is in the books.
It was one fully aged.
And this guy's happy. I think that guy's happy.
And
I think this guy's pretty happy.
yeah,
too.
I'm pretty happy with the Cowboys.
Yeah. Some teams aren't, but...
We're going to kind of review the first round, major splash moves, major draft, and then maybe go a little bit into our teams, but not too much.
Yeah.
So obviously, number one,
get started.
Trevor Lawrence. I think everybody kind of had, everybody thought this was going to be the pick.
Yeah.
And it was.
And
no surprises.
And they've already paid him.
Yeah, I think $24 million over 4 years.
4 or 5 years. 4 years with a fifth-year option, $24 million with a big signing bonus as well.
Kind of with this, I know obviously he's a first-round pick. Do you think that they start him, or do you think they let Minshew play it out first?
I think he starts.
If they're gonna pay him, he's gonna be starting. He's gonna be the Peyton Manning of 2021, going straight into a bad team.
I think they'll keep Minshew around. I know there's talks he might trade him, but have a guy like that as your backup.
The mullet, the man.
So
they had a decent draft, though. I mean, the one weird thing that they did, they drafted the running back from Clemson.
Yeah, which pairs him with Lawrence, and then
But
obviously
they already had James Robinson, so I was like, what are they doing?
And then Urban Meyer came out and said that they view him as a 3-down back. Clemson, so is Robinson on the
That
out?
doesn't make sense, though. That's the shot. When that happened, I was kind of like, what? And then they were trying out Tim Tebow at tight end,
which he didn't want to play.
Yeah. I heard about that too.
And then supposedly Urban Meyer bought a house right down the road from Tebow.
I didn't hear about
Tebow's coming back.
They're buddies.
Right.
But number two, we obviously Zach Wilson. Kind of no-brainer. They moved Sam Darnold. I mean, obviously...
Yeah, we knew that they were taking a quarterback here. We just didn't know who.
And then, obviously, they took Vera Tucker with their second first-round pick.
They traded up with the Vikings. They went from 23 to 14.
Which, honestly, that's not a bad pick. They got Mekhi Benton, you got your franchise left tackle. Now you have, what's he going to play? Probably left guard?
He's a guard.
He's a guard,
yeah.
yeah.
So they'll probably put him, I'd imagine, to be a left guard.
Then second round, they picked up Elijah Moore, the wide receiver. So he was projected to go first, possibly.
So
right.
You're going to have him, Corey Davis.
They're making some decent moves. I mean, I haven't said that about the Jets, and
I've
never said that about the Jets.
Right, right.
But with a new coach in there,
they might be on the right track.
So
I think they are.
Then we had the number 3 pick. That was the 49ers, which they traded for.
This was the big question mark.
Right. This was, were they going to trade down?
They took Trey Lance, which I think he was going to be the pick regardless.
Of course, we predicted last week that it was going to be Mac Jones.
That's who Shanahan wanted. But then there was kind of a twist. They offered this pick to Green Bay.
Yeah.
With the whole Aaron
Rodgers saga.
And then plus players and picks.
We'll make a video about this.
But that's a good one there. Then obviously, Falcons, they stayed at number 4.
Yeah, that was one. We were thinking the Falcons could have traded down as well, but they stayed at 4 and took Pitts.
A lot of people were saying their asking price was a bit too high.
Yeah, I think they were wanting 2 first rounds.
And I think it was good that they stayed there anyway. You get possibly the best player in the draft. I mean...
Yeah, he was the best player physically, right. That's not a quarterback.
And they kind of on the flip side with Atlanta, they traded for Hayden Hurst last year with Baltimore, and they actually declined his 5th-year option. I wonder if Pitts is going to have something to do with that. They don't want to pay that little extra money.
Right.
And then you had number 5. The Bengals took Burrow's buddy.
Jamar Chase.
And see, I think this was the wrong move.
I would have took a left tackle.
You got Penei Sewell sitting there. Burrow got hurt last year. You got to protect him. They didn't do that. So,
it's it's weird though because
I'm not saying he's not a good player. It's just
Cincinnati took Jamar Chase, who played with Burrow, and then the very next pick, the Dolphins took Jalen Waddle, who played with Tua.
And then,
so that's kind of interesting that both of those teams did that. But we're talking about Jamar right now. But like you just said, they took a wide receiver that he knows, that he's played with and thrown to, so they know each other's like speed and rhythm and all that. So I can kind of see
it could work.
the realistic thing behind that. Right, potential. That's the word.
But, I mean, it's not a bad pick.
No, I mean, it's a good pick.
I don't think it was the smart
It should have been.
But if you don't have time to throw the ball, he's not catching anything.
Should have been offensive line.
So, and they've already got some talented receivers on that team.
T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I think they could have went away with it, but that's besides the point. So then you had number 6. We had Waddle, went to Miami. I could have saw this being either Waddle or Devontae Smith.
I figured it would probably be a receiver. So.
Right, we did figure this one was going to be a receiver, but like I just said, they paired him up with Tua, who Tua played with. So you kind of got that little connection going on there. So hopefully that works out. Fun
fact for that was Waddle and Smith came out and said they'd rather have Mac Jones thrown to him.
Really?
Well, I think it was because he was their buddy. You know, obviously didn't want to downsize him, but I mean, obviously that's good for Waddle. I mean, he's got Tua, which got a little bit of history with, and he's on the opposite side of Devontae Parker.
Well, the Dolphins are on a team that's on the up, so
right, on the up.
As long as Tua plays well, I guess.
So then we had number 7. I think the Lions couldn't get up there quick enough. I think Dan Campbell made a video saying he was excited that he was there.
Yeah, they didn't think he'd be there.
I thought he would have went in the top 5.
Yeah.
But,
well, we thought the Bengals were the one that was going to take it.
Right. So,
I mean, really for the Lions, this isn't bad. You get your franchise left tackle.
Yep.
Then obviously Goff's a rental. Maybe next year go out and get a franchise quarterback. So I'll probably have a top 5 pick.
And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, not every quarterback has to be in the first round. Everyone looks at these first-round quarterbacks because they were great in college.
Yeah.
Dak was a 4th rounder.
Brady was a 6. And then not even quarterbacks, but you were saying earlier, Diggs was a 5th rounder. You can find talent in the other rounds of the draft. There was actually, what was that statistic? Was it 64% of the NFL was rounds 4 through 7?
Yep.
And not 1 through 3?
Those guys got a lot more to prove. So I think they try a lot harder.
So I definitely agree that the Lions can find a quarterback somewhere else. It doesn't have to be in the first, but obviously you won a first rounder because they were great in college.
So then, number 8, we had the Carolina Panthers took the first corner, J.C. Horn.
And this,
I mean,
the next 2 picks here
started to run.
Yeah, because the Cowboys were picking 10. We wanted one of the next 2 guys, but the Panthers obviously got J.C. Horn. So he was the top corner in the draft between him and Pat Surtain.
Which, I mean, obviously Carolina, they didn't go wrong here. I mean, obviously,
it was a smart pick.
Quarterback was something that, you know, with Fields on the board still.
Do you take that?
Some people were like, well, are they going to take Fields?
Right.
No, they passed on him.
And then, you know, another one,
or trade down.
Devontae Smith's there. You give Darnold another weapon?
I was thinking, I'm not sure. Yeah, I was thinking that Panthers or Broncos would have traded down maybe even, but no, they stuck and picked.
Then pick 9 rolls around, so everybody's thinking quarterback. It's got to be a quarterback.
And then the whole Jerry and Dallas
either the quarterback or the Aaron Rodgers thing, because Denver was all over this.
The Aaron Rodgers news broke right at the beginning of the draft.
Right.
He did not want to be there.
He doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't want to be in Green Bay, so that's why we were thinking maybe Denver trades out of 9 for Rodgers, and then maybe
some picks.
Some rumors came up that Denver was in the mix and that they were talking, and then.
But they ended up sticking and picking.
Yep.
And then the second defensive back went off the board, and the Cowboys were eyeing one of those 2. And so then the Cowboys had to trade down.
They already had him. That Broncos defense would probably be a top 10.
Yeah.
The secondary was pretty good, and obviously.
You add him, and that's just going to add depth, and it's going to give Pat a little bit of time to learn.
Then you had number 10.
We traded down from the 10 spot with the Eagles
which is
to
weird.
12, which is very weird. The Eagles took Devontae Smith, wide receiver.
The only problem with trading with the Eagles is what if Devontae Smith ends up being like
really good?
Yeah, really, really good.
Oh, I know. It's going to be stupid.
But to me, you guys should take. I would have took Devontae Smith here. I wouldn't trade him because obviously it's your rival.
Mm-hmm.
And he would give you that option. You don't need another receiver, but it'd give you the option of you can get out of Cooper's contract.
Right, and I get that. The Cowboys were at 10, and if you look right under them, the Bears are at 11. Now,
could have got a haul.
That's what I was going to say next. We traded with the Eagles for their number 12 and a third rounder. Mm-hmm. The Giants were one pick below us and got 4 draft picks. They got this year's 20, next year's first, and then like a 4th and a 5th.
Well, it is the Bears.
No, but I'm saying, why didn't the Bears offer that to the Cowboys, who was only 1 pick ahead?
Probably.
And if they did offer it and Jerry denied it, that's stupid.
It was probably because they knew you just paid Dak and you're not taking a quarterback.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. We were only 1 pick. We were at 10. Why didn't we trade with the Bears, man?
Your division. Everybody's trading with everybody.
But anyways, you know what I mean?
I know we're supposed to be rivals, but how about a trade?
It irritates me that the Bears didn't offer that to the Cowboys, who were only 1 pick ahead. I would have absolutely dropped down to 20 and then got their next year's pick, and you never know, they might go 4-12 next year, or 4-13, and then we would be in the top 10.
Yeah.
And even if the Cowboys do good, we could have been in the top 10 because of that trade. So now the Giants might have the Giants might have that opportunity now if the Bears suck.
Sour grapes.
Anyways,
speaking of the trade, though.
Yeah. Anyways, Devontae Smith to the Eagles.
But number 11
was the haul.
Was the haul that I just spoke about.
Likes talking about.
The Bears apparently don't think Andy Dalton's.
Andy Dalton's QB1.
I think they still said he's going to start, so we'll see.
But, why didn't you offer us that same package? Anyway,
Lucas over here talking about packages.
Anyways, Justin Fields. It was a good pick for the Bears. They did give up a lot. They gave up, this year's first and next year's first.
It is if he pans out.
Right, if he pans out.
I can think of another quarterback they traded up to get not that long ago.
Trubisky.
So, we'll see. Yep. But, it was a good pick if he pans out.
I can't remember how one of the reporters came out and said they were asking about Justin Fields, and it says, being a Bears fan, you'll know when it's time.
Yep.
But then you had number 12, finally from the trade.
My Dallas Cowboys, linebacker Micah Parsons.
I think...
I'm happy with the pick. It's not we wanted a defensive back, but both the defensive backs went ahead of us to the Panthers and Broncos, so this was kind of our secondary option, I think, and Sean Lee just retired. And yes, we have Jalen Smith and we have Van Der Esch, who we did not sign back.
You guys did pick up a corner in round 2, though. Kentucky.
Yep.
Kelvin Joseph.
We picked up a defensive back there, and then we picked up an offensive lineman, Josh Ball, I believe, who was ranked as a second rounder. We picked him up at 138.
That's weird. A lot of these guys fell.
I feel pretty good about the Cowboys as far as
I think
overall.
The whole thing was, I think, that Micah Parsons putting it on Van Der Esch is either you play or you're gone.
Right. Yeah, that could be part of it too. Now, Parsons is a hell of a talent here, picking him up at 12. But like you said, we got Jalen, Vander. We've got a pretty good front 7, Jesus. And now you're adding Micah Parsons to that.
That pick was traded 4 times.
I see that. But anyways, I'm happy with picking up Parsons at 12. So move on to the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Obviously, this was going to be the pick. They got to get
Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle.
I think it was a good pick.
Yeah.
Then we kind of went over the 14. Obviously, they got Vera Tucker, which to me that's not a bad pickup.
Yeah, the Vikings. Right. The Vikings were supposed to be in that spot.
And you actually
you guys traded down.
They trade. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But they traded all the way down to 23. So the Jets. Jets are rebuilding.
Yeah, they picked up their guard. So.
Then we had.
And then this was kind of a shocker, really. The New England Patriots selected Mac Jones at 15.
You know what? They didn't have to move up or anything.
Right. We all kind of thought the Patriots might move up for maybe someone. Mac Jones fell right to him.
Somebody I think it was on ESPN. They were talking about Mac Jones, and they were kind of dogging him, saying that, like, he's not your typical looking quarterback. They said he's got like a dad bod. Like, he's not like in shape really.
Really?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, did you ever see the stuff about Brady?
Yeah, it's true.
Brady's.
I think they put a picture of him. I think I saw a meme with both of them by each other.
Yeah, there was that one, and there's one with Campbell jacked. It's like Mac Daddy's here.
Yeah. So
That's
I don't
funny.
know. I mean, again, Patriots. Obviously, Newton's not the answer. Is Mac Jones the answer?
We don't know yet, but I do know that I feel that Mac Jones fell a little bit because he was in a little bit of trouble. Had some videos come out and different things.
I kind of think the Patriots probably should have just tried to trade for Garoppolo.
Right.
Even though I know he can't stay healthy, but he played better in New England than he's played.
Now, do you think that Newton doesn't take off this year? Do you think he pulls him and puts Jones in?
It depends on how Newton plays.
It might be a battle. It might be a training camp.
I think it's definitely going to be a battle. I don't think it's Newton's for sure. I think Mac Jones is going to have to earn it. But if Newton does start to play bad, I think Jones will come in.
And then we had going into the 16th. This was kind of a shocker. They took Zaven Collins, the Cardinals, which they took Isaiah Simmons last year, which he's kind of a hybrid, out of crack, play safety linebacker.
Not as big as the Shaq as the next pick. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But
I figured they would have went in a different direction. But I think everybody wants to talk about the 17th.
Yeah, your secondary team here.
Alex Leatherwood.
What the hell?
And everybody's like, what? He's the second round grade. And
this is the best thing that could have happened for my Vikings. I did not expect this. I don't know. Some of these picks that Mayock and Gruden have been picking the past few years, I don't get it. Because Mike Mayock was like, he'd do all his mock drafts and everybody praised him and this and that. And now he's making these odd picks.
Which
he would have been there in the second round probably.
I think this kind of gathered out the whole Mac trade, and they picked horrible for those because they had Farrell, Jacobs was the one when they hit on, then they got Leatherwood, and who the hell was the other?
But I mean Leatherwood, we don't know.
We don't know.
But the Raiders did pick up Trayvon Mooring in the second round, which he was projected to be a first possibly.
You think they would have switched?
If they would have switched it, it would have made more sense. But I don't know.
And then the next one we had 18, the Dolphins. Jalen Phillips got some health concerns, but I mean really Dolphins defense is. If
he's healthy, I mean they said he's the most athletic, best defensive end in the draft. But the health concerns are a problem.
So, it was a pretty good pick for the Dolphins at 18.
But I mean, they had a couple first-rounders, so why not take a chance on one of them, I guess. So.
Yeah. Then we had Washington football team took linebacker Jamin Davis out of Kentucky, which a lot of mock drafts had him slipping into the second round.
Yeah, it was kind of an odd pick.
Yeah.
One thing about Washington.
It's Washington.
One thing about them is they didn't address quarterback.
Right.
Yeah, they got Fitzpatrick and Heineke.
I mean, I don't know if they tried to trade up. I don't know if they were a team that was in the mix. But
I mean, too, obviously, I think they're just they're going to keep addressing that defense. You got Chase Young last year. Just keep adding to it. Then we had number 20, which the Giants.
Kadarius Toney.
He's a human joystick.
Yeah.
He's pretty quick. To me, I think that they were going to be in on Devontae Smith, which obviously
didn't
happen.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason why they traded out. Well, Chicago gave him a landslide anyways. But
right for next year and all that.
I figured they would have went with somebody else though at 20. They could have had Bateman. You could have had a couple other guys.
Yeah, Bateman was rated a lot higher than
Marshall Jr. out of LSU.
Yeah.
Then we had 21. Looks the secondary team.
The Indianapolis Colts selected Kwity Paye, edge out of Michigan.
Good
I like this pick for the Colts, and then the Colts also selected a quarterback later on down the draft. I think Sam Ehlinger, if that's how you say it. But yeah, I like this pick at 21 for the Colts. Defensive end.
They need more pass rush other than Forrest Buckner.
I totally agree. So that's all I really have to say. But I like the pick.
No.
Then we had Tennessee went at 22 and they took Caleb Farley. Obviously he
defensive back
had back issues. So I can't remember what they were saying. I think he only played 2 or 3 games. Then he had back surgery, and then he opted out. So kind of that one's more of a potential pick than anything else.
Right, and here we go.
The Vikings, after trading down with the Jets, moved to 23, and they still get their left tackle that they probably would have taken at 14. Christian Darrisaw moved all the way down there. I don't know why he was still available. It's a good thing the Raiders picked Leatherwood. So,
right.
Yeah, really productive college. He didn't give up a sack all last season, which is pretty good. And in the third round, they picked up quarterback Kellen Mond, which I'm pretty excited about.
Right.
I was telling him, Chris Sims that does this, he had him ranked number 4 over Fields and Lance in his rankings. So we'll see what happens there. I know Kirk's probably not happy about it, but you know what?
You know what? Let him battle for it.
You know the thing is, though, could this be the downfall of Kirk?
It could be.
It could be.
Or maybe it'll make him play better.
Right.
But, I mean, they had a pretty good draft. They got Wyatt Davis in the third round, which he was projected to be a first or second rounder. So they took care of their offensive line. They got some depth pieces, and they got a quarterback possibly of the future. So I can't say anything bad about their draft. I think they did pretty good. So
not bad. We had the Steelers went and took the first running back off the board.
Najee Harris.
Obviously, I think this was a no-brainer. They needed a running back, but I think they needed a center too.
I can't remember who we did in our mock.
Who was their last running back? Connor?
James Conner.
James Conner, and he was doing okay, but
Alabama. We might have.
Connor was doing okay for him, but taking Najee Harris here,
he's a 3-down back,
is really gonna make Connor, like you were just saying about Cousins, it's gonna make Connor play better, and if he doesn't, then Najee will be playing.
Connor ain't there no more.
Yeah, Connor's gone.
Oh,
he's with the Cardinals.
Okay, so yeah.
So they needed a running back.
They got Benny Snell.
The next pick we kind of talked about, number 25, the Jaguars took a running back from Clemson. Travis. What is it?
Etienne?
I think
this pick makes no sense to me.
To me, I mean, look, you could have had Rashad Bateman. You could have had Greg Newsome. To me, this would have been one for Trevor Morgan on TCU.
Yeah.
Get a safety, somebody on the defense side, but I guess they're wanting to pair him with his running mate, Lawrence.
I mean, maybe it pans out, but then you got James Robinson that played really well.
But they're two different backs. He's more your home run hitter. Robinson's more your power back. But then we had the Cleveland Browns took Greg Newsome to add to that already pre-stop defense.
Yeah,
not bad.
They had a pretty good draft.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick there at 26.
Then 27, the Ravens took Rashad Bateman. He's been linked to him all draft through the whole draft process, but. He gives Lamar an X receiver finally. Somebody can throw the ball and they'll go get it.
Listen to a lot of Vikings talk, radio stuff, and they talk about the Gophers a lot. And Bateman's badass. I mean, that's
they were saying a lot of it. I think his quarterback was the reason why he didn't progress the way he should have.
And weren't you kind of talking a little bit off camera? Weren't you saying was it Bateman that was really good in traffic?
Yeah,
like he was catching with a defender on him.
He's one of them. Then they did take another receiver later in the mid rounds. It's with number 1 in for contested catches.
Contested catches, right? So that's good. That's what you need in the NFL.
Now we're at the point where Lamar doesn't have any excuses.
Right, I totally agree.
And then you had kind of number 28. This was kind of a head scratcher.
I don't think it was. I mean, they lost Trey Hendrickson.
But to me, you could have had one of these other guys. But I mean, it wasn't too bad, I guess. He just wasn't the big name guy.
No.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Seeing what we're doing, huh?
Then we had the number 29 pick, which the Green Bay Packers took Eric Stokes.
Defensive back.
You think with the drama they would have went receiver?
Yeah.
I was going to say, what does Green Bay do to make Aaron Rodgers happy about this? They draft a cornerback.
Are you guys still?
Yeah, we're still recording.
But
drafted a quarterback last year. Now you draft a defensive back this year.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what the Packers are doing.
He's more of an athlete. He's quick. He'll be good with that Jair Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just.
I mean, it's a good move for their defense. I guess.
Right.
You need linebackers. This is where I thought you would have saw like Xavier Collins or somebody else go. But obviously went earlier.
No.
But they did get Rodgers, Clemson receiver in the second round.
Yeah.
Rodgers not happy.
He gone.
The Buffalo Bills
Greg
took Greg Rousseau at edge, defensive end.
That's a good pickup.
I think so. That's pretty good pick there. The Bills definitely need a little bit more help on defense. The Bills were a dang good team last year.
See, they had the luxury, though, their team's kind of more complete.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have figured a running back would have went here. But obviously, Jacksonville kind of swooped in there.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Ravens had the 31st pick, which they got, like I said, Odafiola.
Daffy?
That was from the Kansas City trade where you guys got rid of Orlando Brown.
He's, from everything I've read, I mean, you can't teach his size.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't register a sack that was final season, which everybody's kind of knacking on that.
Well, there was some other edge rushers that I think they could have went with there. I mean, I don't know if this was a reach or not.
Either it's a reach or maybe it just fits the system better.
That's possible.
Well, I think what they were doing is they were trying to get Wink. He runs a 4.3.
Because you had, Osai and Away.
Yeah, he was still there. I mean, to me, it's not a bad pick. But one thing that, obviously goes unnoticed is always your quarterback pressures, which that was more impressive than the sack, obviously. But I think they said he was the first pass rusher that was drafted in the first round that never registered a sack in his final season.
Right.
And then we had Tampa Bay.
The last pick.
Took another edge.
Joe Tryon, edge from Washington.
I kind of thought they might have taken offensive lineman.
Wyatt Davis.
Right.
To me, it makes sense. Obviously, Pierre Paul's on the last year of his deal.
No.
So I really can see this guy taking over for Pierre Paul. Thinking what happens.
And they did end up picking up a quarterback. They got Kyle Trask
in the second round.
at the end of the second round. So
that wasn't a bad pick.
see if they can make things work with that.
Overall, it was a pretty good draft. Just the NFL, just overall, not just our teams, but the overall. Your highlights were, 3 quarterbacks went off the board in the first 3 picks.
Yeah.
And then you had your big trade with the Bears trading up to 11.
You want to talk about that again?
No, I'm just kind of reviewing, some of the big moments that happened. A couple wide receivers went in the top 10. Pitts went 4.
The highlight of this draft was everybody sitting on Goodell's leather chair.
Yeah, and then everybody sitting on the leather chair. It was a pretty good draft. It was fun. It was definitely fun to watch. Fans were back in attendance and all that. So.
And the Rodgers news made it even better.
And the Rodgers news just made it crazy. So
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it that we have for the draft.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun. Yeah.
Fun.